when you talk with dealers is that there are a number of buyers out there who they would like to buy, but they're not seeing the supply that they're looking for. So as a result, I wouldn't call it a buyer strike, but I think what we're seeing in the market right now is definitely a number of people who are saying, I want to buy, but I'm not just going to buy to buy. I'm going to wait until I can get what I'm looking for.
Pickup sales in America are collapsing. Dealer lots are overflowing with unsold models, yet manufacturers keep cranking them out. This isn't just a slowdown, it's the biggest truck crisis in decades. From the Ford F-150 Lightning that was supposed to be the future, to the Chevrolet Silverado work truck abandoned by buyers, here are 14 pickups that completely broke buyer trust. And the last one on this list might shock you most. Number 14, Ram 1500 Classic. The Ram 1500 Classic is a case of extinction in slow motion. This truck was supposed to bridge the gap between the old and new Ram generations, keeping costs down while the all-new Ram ramped up production. Instead, it became a symbol of everything wrong with half-hearted truck strategies. Sales collapsed by 19% in Q3 2024 alone, with dealers reporting units sitting on lots for over 180 days. Compare that to its peak years when Ram moved these by the thousands monthly, and you're looking at a truck that went from reliable seller to lot poison. With a 3.6-liter Phi-6 engine, 8-speed automatic, and a $31,000 starting price, it should have been the budget truck hero. But buyers saw right through it. This was yesterday's truck with yesterday's interior trying to compete in tomorrow's market. It had all the basics covered, and nobody cared. It only gets worse from here. Number 13. Ford F-150 Lightning. Here's where it gets interesting. The F-150 Lightning was supposed to be the future, America's truck going electric with all the capability and then some. Ford's F-Series. Sales have taken a serious dive in the first half of 2024, and the Lightning is the one dragging them down the fastest. Think about it. This truck went from moving 15,000 units a month in early 2023 to barely 3,500 by late 2024. That's a 77% free fall, and we're watching it unfold in real time. If you got to know about it, the Lightning looked unbeatable. 452 horsepower, 775 pound-foot of torque, and even the ability to power your house for days. It sounded like the future of trucks. But here's the twist. It was everything buyers claimed they wanted, right up until the moment they had to sign the papers. Suddenly, perfect turned into a sales disaster. Range anxiety, worries about charging stations, and that $55,000+ sticker price all teamed up to scare people off. Now, dealers are practically begging people to take them home, slashing $15,000 off the top, and the lots are still full. And this is just the beginning of the electric truck apocalypse. Number 12. Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Work Truck. The Chevrolet Silverado work truck was supposed to be the no-nonsense, get-it-done truck for actual working people. Instead, it became proof that basic doesn't sell anymore, even when it's exactly what customers claim to want. Sales dropped 31% year over year, from 45,000 units annually to just 31,000 in 2024. Compare that to the loaded high country trim that barely moves 12,000 units but generates 3 times the profit per truck. Sales collapsed 31% in just 1 year. With a 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder, vinyl seats, and steel wheels, it delivers everything a work truck needs. Manual windows, rubber floor mats, and $35,000 price tag. But customers took one look at that interior and walked straight to the LT's model. It's built for work. But workers want luxury too. Dealers report work trucks sitting 145 days on average, while loaded models turn in 45 days. The market spoke, and it said we want our work trucks to feel like luxury cars. And here's where the pattern really starts to show. Number 11. Ram 2500 Laramie Longhorn. The Ram 25000 Laramie Longhorn priced itself out of reality. This truck was the ultimate expression of heavy-duty luxury. Leather everywhere, wood trim, and enough chrome to blind low-flying aircraft. Sales plummeted 43% in 2024. Dropping from 18,000 units to just 10,200. That's compared to 2019 when Ram moved over 28,000 Longhorns annually. We're watching a truck that went from exclusive to extinct. It's been sitting on lots for over 200 days straight, with a 6.7-liter Cummins diesel, air suspension, and a cabin that rivals luxury SUVs. It should have been the king of contractor trucks, but at $85,000+ starting price, it crossed the line from expensive to insulting. Everything a truck buyer dreams of, priced like a nightmare. The market rejected the idea that a work truck should cost more than most people's houses. Dealers are sitting on $2.2 million worth of unsold Longhorns nationwide, offering $12,000 rebates that still can't generate sales. And what happened next proved the problem wasn't a one-off. Number 10. Ford F-250 King Ranch. The Ford F-250 King Ranch should have been the bulletproof choice. Ford's heavy-duty capability wrapped in genuine Texas ranch luxury. Sales collapsed 38% in 2024, falling from 22,000 units to just 13,640. Compare that to the basic XL trim that actually gained sales, and you see the market turning its back on luxury trucks entirely. This should have been a bestseller. Here's why it wasn't. With a 6.7-liter Power-Stroke diesel, genuine King Ranch leather, and enough towing capacity to move a small building, the spec sheet screams quality. But at $78,000 base price, climbing to $95,000 plus with options, it represents everything buyers are rejecting. Built for kings, but priced out of the kingdom. This truck delivers everything it promises, yet sits on lots for 167 days while dealers slash prices by $10,000 plus. And guess what? This problem is about to get much worse. Number 9. GMC Sierra 2500 HDDENALI. The GMC Sierra 2500 HD Denali had a bit of an identity crisis. GMC positioned this as the professional-grade luxury truck, but the market couldn't figure out if it was a work truck or a mall crawler. Sales dropped 29% to 14,500 units in 2024, down from over 20,000 the year before. That's compared to the regular Sierra HD that held steady, proving buyers want capability without the luxury confusion. On paper, it's perfect, but the market hated it. With a 6.6-liter Duramax diesel, magnetic ride control, and an interior borrowed from Cadillac, it checks every box for premium heavy-duty performance. But the $82,000 starting price put it in direct competition with actual luxury SUVs that offer more space and comfort. Dealers report the Denali sitting 156 days on average, while base Sierra HDS move in 67 days. The message is clear. Buyers want their work trucks to work, not to make fashion statements. And this isn't even the worst offender. Number 8. Ram 1500 TRX. The Ram 1500 TRX was Ram's answer to the Ford Raptor, a supercharged, 702 horsepower monster truck for the street. Instead, it became a 90,000 lesson in what happens when you build a truck nobody can afford. A sales crashed 67% in 2024, dropping to just 3,200 units from nearly 9,700 the year before. Compare that to the Ford Raptor's stable 15,000 plus annual sales, and you see the difference between successful excess and failed excess. They've slashed $18,000 off the price, and it's still not moving. With a supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi V8, 702 horsepower and suspension that can handle jumps, it's the most capable off-road pickup ever built. But at $92,000, plus in 12 miles per gallon fuel economy, it represented everything wrong with truck pricing. This truck could outrun sports cars and climb mountains, but it couldn't overcome its own price tag. Dealers are offering $18,000 rebates and still can't find buyers willing to make $1,400 monthly payments for a pickup truck. Now, it's not just these individual trucks failing. This signals a massive collapse in how Americans think about pickup trucks. We're not just watching slow sales. We're witnessing the end of the era, where bigger, more expensive, and more powerful automatically meant better sales. The pricing bubble has finally burst. The demand has shifted, and brand loyalty has officially died. The second half of this list will prove this trend is universal, and it's about to get much worse. Number 7. Tesla Cybertruck. The Tesla Cybertruck might be the most hyped pickup of the last decade. But its fall from grace has been just as dramatic. When Elon Musk rolled it out in 2019, over 1 million people placed reservations. It was supposed to be the future. Stainless steel exoskeleton, futuristic design, wild towing numbers. People said it would rewrite the entire playbook for trucks. But what they found next changed everything. But reality has been brutal. By early 2025, Tesla had delivered only about 27,000 units. Then came a massive blow. more than 46,000 Cybertrucks were recalled due to major issues, from wiper motors failing to accelerator pedals sticking. That recall alone nearly doubled the number of trucks Tesla had even sold. To make things worse, Ford's electric F-150 Lightning actually overtook the Cybertruck in EV pickup sales, something no one predicted just a year earlier. ITHADEVERYTHINGFORITANDSTILLFAILED. On paper, it's the most advanced pickup in the world. In reality, it's sitting on lots with discounts and freebies just to move units. Tesla even started throwing in perks like free vinyl wraps, just to keep people interested. For a truck that was once seen as untouchable, the Cybertruck's flop is a clear sign that innovation alone doesn't guarantee sales. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about the next one, a truck that's been around for 2 decades and still couldn't win buyers over. Number 6. Nissan Titan. The Nissan Titan should have been a serious contender. First launched in 2004, Nissan wanted it to go head-to-head with Ford and Chevy's big players. And on paper, it had the goods. A 5.6-liter V8 with 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque, plenty of towing power, and all the right features to compete in the full-size market. But here's the brutal truth: nobody cared. While Ford F-Series trucks were racking up sales in the hundreds of thousands every year, Titan was struggling to break 20,000 units. In fact, in 2023, it sold only 19,189 trucks nationwide, barely a rounding error compared to its rivals. Dealers were sitting on Titan inventory for 265 days or more, in some cases, nearly 3/4 of a year before they could move one. Only 19,189 sold last month, nationwide. A capable, well-built truck that was completely ignored by the market. Nissan quietly pulled the plug in 2025, discontinuing the Titan after years of underperformance. But its downfall is more than just another failed truck. It shows what happens when a brand can't break into America's most loyal market segment. That was bad. This next is catastrophic. Number 5. Jeep Gladiator. The Jeep Gladiator was supposed to be a slam dunk. Take the beloved Wrangler, add a pickup bed, and cash in on decades of Jeep loyalty. For a while, it actually worked. In 2019 and 2020, Gladiator sales climbed past 77,000 units. But the shine wore off fast. By 2023, sales had collapsed by more than half, falling below 41,000 units. The problem? Buyers realized the Gladiator was trying to do 2 jobs and not excelling at either. As a Wrangler, it was less agile and less fun. As a pickup, it was smaller and less capable than rivals. Even though it carried Jeep's rugged DNA, customers just didn't stick around. Dealers have been offering $10,000 off MSRP, but nothing is attracting the buyers. The contradiction is striking. A truck with Jeep's nameplate and off-road legacy, but one that's now lingering on lots and piling up in inventory. Dealers have been offering steep discounts, some up to $10,000 off MSRP, just to move them. And that's a dangerous sign for a brand that's supposed to be bulletproof in the American market. But if you thought Jeep struggling was strange, the next one might be even harder to believe. A flop wearing one of the most trusted badges in the truck world. Number 4. Chevrolet Avalanche. At first glance, it looked like a truck straight out of the future, with its bold lines and wild transformer design. Chevy launched the Avalanche in 2001. AS new kind of pickup, part SUV, part truck. It borrowed heavily from the Chevy Suburban and Silverado, but had one defining feature: the midgate. That midgate was supposed to change the game. It lets you fold down the rear seats and extend the bed into the cabin, giving you either more interior room or more hauling space. The pitch was simple: one truck that could do it all. But here's where Chevy lost people. The Avalanche confused buyers. Was it a truck? Was it an SUV? It was too bulky to be practical, too awkward to be stylish, and too expensive for what it offered. Hardcore truck owners didn't take it seriously, and SUV fans thought it was overkill. The first year was a curiosity, hit with over 93,000 sold in 2003, but numbers dropped fast. By 2011, Avalanche sales barely cracked 20,000 units, a fraction of the Silverado's hundreds of thousands. And here's the thing, Chevy had all the pieces of a winner. The Avalanche shared parts with two of GM's most successful vehicles, the Silverado and Suburban, yet it never clicked. Instead of a sales juggernaut, it became a niche oddball. BY 2013, GM pulled the plug. The Avalanche was dead, quietly discontinued after 2 generations. For Chevy, it was proof that even America's biggest truck maker can overthink a design and miss the mark. But Chevy didn't stop there. They tried another experiment, one that flopped even harder. Number 3, Chevrolet SSR. Now, if the Avalanche was strange, the Chevy SSR took things to a whole new level. Imagine a convertible roadster mashed up with a pickup truck. That's what Chevy actually put on the market. The Super Sport Roadster debuted in 2003, riding the wave of retro design trends. Automakers were chasing nostalgia at the time. Think Chrysler, PT Cruiser, and Ford Thunderbird. And Chevy wanted in their idea, a 1950s-inspired hot rod pickup with a retractable hardtop roof. It was supposed to be a head-turner, but buyers quickly realized this wasn't a workhorse, and it wasn't really a sports car. It was an expensive toy, one that cost nearly $42,000 at launch. Truck fans laughed at it. Muscle car fans shrugged, and families who actually needed a pickup went straight back to the Silverado. The sales numbers are brutal. Chevy hoped for 20,000 SSRs per year, but the first full year, 2004, barely hit 9,000 units. By 2006, sales collapsed to under 3,000, making it one of the slowest-selling GM products of the decade. And here's the wild part. GM gave the SSR some serious muscle toward the end, dropping in a 6.0 liter LS2 V8 borrowed from the Corvette. But even then, the damage was done. No amount of horsepower could fix the fact that it was a truck nobody asked for. By 2006, the SSR was dead. It became a symbol of GM's early 2000s identity crisis, chasing gimmicks instead of building what customers really wanted. Today, it's remembered less as a classic and more as a cautionary tale. And if you thought those were disasters, wait until you see this final truck. It's not just failing, it's being completely erased from existence. Number 2, Honda Ridgeline. The Honda Ridgeline was Honda's attempt to reinvent the pickup truck with car-like refinement and innovative features. It launched with a unibody construction, independent rear suspension, and the industry's first in-bed trunk. Honda thought they could win over buyers who wanted truck utility without truck compromises. But truck buyers saw it as a compromise, truck pretending to be the real thing. Sales never exceeded 50,000 units annually, peaking at just 43,651 in 2006. Compare that to F-150. Sales of over 700,000 that same year, and you see how Honda completely missed the mark. The truck market is about authenticity and capability, not innovation and comfort. With a 3.5-liter V6, all-wheel drive, and features no other truck offered, it should have carved out a niche. Instead, it became proof that truck buyers don't want their trucks to feel like cars. The bed was too small for real work. The styling was too soft for truck culture. And the unibody construction felt wrong to buyers who wanted body-on-frame toughness. Dealers were offering $7,000 rebates and extended warranties just to move inventory. Honda discontinued the first-generation Ridgeline in 2014, brought it back in 2017 with traditional truck styling, but damage to the nameplate was already done. Current sales hover around 33,000 units annually, respectable for a niche player, but a disappointment for Honda's truck ambitions. And this brings us to the brutal truth behind every truck on this list. So what's really happening here? The manufacturers want you to believe this is about interest rates, inflation, or changing consumer preferences. They point to overall market conditions and supply chain issues. But the data tells a different story. The truck market isn't dying, it's evolving. GM full-size trucks actually grew 4% to 884,998 units in 2024, while luxury variants collapsed. Ford F-Series remained the best-selling truck with 732,100 units, but base models drove those numbers, not premium trims. The truck market isn't dying, it's evolving. What we're witnessing is the end of the luxury truck era. For 15 years, manufacturers convinced themselves that bigger margins meant adding leather, chrome, and complexity to basic work trucks. They turned 35,000 workhorses into 85,000 lifestyle statements. This problem will keep coming up, and it's no accident. Analysts believe us buyers have reached their limit with oversized, overpriced trucks. The market correction isn't about capability, it's about affordability and authenticity. This is what happens when you price trucks like luxury cars, but deliver truck compromises. The winners in this market are trucks that remember what trucks are for: work, utility, and reasonable prices. The losers are trucks that forgot their purpose and tried to become something they're not. The future belongs to trucks that work, not trucks that impress. Here's the truth in one sentence. American pickup. Trucks didn't fail because they got worse. They failed because they stopped being trucks and started being jewelry. This isn't the death of the American truck. It's the return of the American truck to its roots. The market is demanding vehicles that work, that make sense, and that regular working people can actually afford. The manufacturers who understand this will survive. The ones who keep chasing luxury margins will keep appearing on lists like this one. We're not watching extinction. We're watching evolution back to what trucks should have been all along. Have you seen any of these trucks sitting on dealer lots in your area? What's the longest you've seen one sit without moving? Drop a comment and let me know what's happening where you live. And if you want to see which trucks are about to join this list, make sure you subscribe because that deep dive is coming next week, and the numbers are even more shocking than these.